1 year later, the family of Felix DeJesus is still searching for answers. The 41-year-old Paterson man remains missing. He vanished last February, shortly after being detained by police. The last trace of his whereabouts is in a 4-minute-long police body cam video released to the public that doesn't tell the whole story. Now his loved ones want state and federal law enforcement departments to take on the case. Senior correspondent Joanna Gagas reports.
How could somebody just disappear after they were last seen alive in police custody and now we can't find them? Where is he?
That question's been haunting the family of Felix DeJesus for nearly a year. DeJesus disappeared February 2nd after police took him into custody and later released him at a nearby park. The night began here at a Paterson bodega where a woman said he grabbed her.
I'm literally around, on some weird.
File complaint? You want to go forward?
Honestly, no.
He's just drunk?
Yeah, I don't know who he is. Listen, he just told me he asked me to tell you what just happened. I told you. I just want to go back to my house.
But what exactly happened that night remains unclear because the body camera footage from the arresting officers is incomplete. The footage starts with DeJesus already on the ground in handcuffs with no sound. The microphone then turns on, and DeJesus can be heard telling police his hand was broken.
It's broken.
The footage later cuts off while he's still in custody.
10-12, assignment completed.
Before police released him into Westside Park in Paterson wearing only a t-shirt, according to the last video footage seen of him.
If the cops would have never arrested my brother that night, my brother would have been back home.
So you fault them for arresting him even though there was a situation where he was allegedly grabbing a woman?
Yes, but actually I have direct contact with the woman. She ain't felt the harass or nothing like that. She didn't want to press on the charges, so they had to let my brother go right then and there. But they decided to put him in the patrol car and took him, and they dumped him because that's what we feel. They dumped him in the park. It's a very dark spot. They don't have no lights. It was cold blue weather. It was very cold, and they just dumped him outside. It was snow on the ground. It was raining that night, and they did 100% wrong.
They broke protocol in terms of cutting off the camera, okay, because the camera was supposed to continuously run. So somebody manually cut off the camera. And that's the biggest problem because that right there helps them in the cover-up of what happened to this young man. So that camera was not supposed to be turned off.
The city has acknowledged the officer's wrongdoing.
Taking into consideration those factors, that he was intoxicated and that he was creating a disturbance, he should have been dropped off at the hospital. So the police officers exercised poor judgment. We took action. We've actually disciplined those police officers. However, I can assure you that we're still trying to find Felix DeJesus.
The family, along with community activists like Corey Teague, have been showing up to city council meetings regularly, demanding harsher punishment for those officers. The city originally sought harsher punishment too, but Mayor Andre Saya says the 3-month suspension without pay was an appropriate penalty.
Yes, it is. Those are very stringent measures that were taken.
Some might say that that does not send a strong enough message, that an administration that is trying to enforce body cameras has not taken it seriously enough that someone shut off the camera and now there's a missing person.
No, we stand firm in believing that we took the appropriate action.
Saya also says he's been working closely with the Haledon Police Department that's in charge of the missing persons investigation because that's where DeJesus lived, and that Paterson's offered a $10,000 reward.
I'm offended by this 90-day suspension, even without pay. That was a major violation. This young man is missing. We don't know where he is, and the camera footage that we could have used in the investigation was turned off. So that doesn't help their case in terms of telling us that everything was above level.
And the lack of transparency has created a breeding ground of distrust.
My brother, he was talking a little crap to them, so they maybe felt that some type of way or offended, and they probably hurted my brother, and they trying to hide that. I would like, and the family would like, for the FBI to get involved and the Attorney General get involved, because I believe it's a cover-up going on in Paterson. It's not the first time that this happened. There's a lot of brutality going on with the police of Paterson.
But Saya says the investigation has discovered another lead that has nothing to do with the Paterson police.
He was last seen with 5 individuals. One of those individuals remains a person of interest.
In the meantime, the family is holding out hope they'll find DeJesus alive. I'm Joanna Gagas, NJ Spotlight News.